In today's video, I want to introduce you to some of my biggest supporters and best friends in the entire world. And I want to talk about how I came out to each of you. Answering questions such as, oh my God, Cassandra, like you used to have a boyfriend. We're gonna talk about all those things. Kind of like online internet video therapy, where I just talk through my problems and like acne, we get through them together. And while I haven't lied, I have kept things behind the scenes. And it's time to open those curtains because I have made a choice to make my life very public here online. And I believe that me working through my struggles publicly, like I've done with acne, can help other people work through their struggles with self-love, with relationships, with sexuality, or something else as well. And so it's my duty, obligation, and honor to be able to introduce you to some of my best friends and biggest supporters and just share these stories and talk out loud. One of the other really hardest parts for me of coming out is the fear of rejection from people I love. And it's that idea that if your friends truly love you, they would love you regardless. And if they don't love you for whoever you are, they were never your friends in the first place. And that's true. If any of you would have rejected me, it would have meant that we weren't really friends. But that doesn't stop the fear from being there. The fear from being rejected, you know, and even if someone, the pain, it doesn't stop that pain.
Yeah.
And that's something I've always struggled with because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, I don't want to rock the boat if I don't have to. So I want to introduce you to my favorite people. Grab yourself a cup of tea. Let's have like a sleepover. I hope you're wearing your pajamas. This is Sammy Jo, who's literally a mermaid and a jewelry designer who has supported me in so many ways. This is Ruby, whatever you want to call her. She literally slept on a plane and flew across the country for me this morning. And this is Elizabeth, my crazy cat lady. We met at a meet and greet years ago. She stalked me at a Sephora. She has a cat who has a mustache.
I do. And I have a mustache too.
But now that you know some of my best friends, I want to talk to you guys about how much you have shown me love. You guys have supported me even when I couldn't support myself. One of the things that when I started coming out to my friends, both when I was really young, you know, just hitting puberty, and then again 5 to 6 years ago when I realized this was something I couldn't change, I was so afraid that people would hate me. I was so afraid that people wouldn't love me or support me. You know, I could lose the affection and admiration of people online, or I could lose the affection and admiration of casual friends. But the people that I literally care the most about, like losing those people would kill me. All these fears that I built up never came to fruition. And I realized that all of the fear, hate, anger, and disgust that I was saying, Sammy Jo wouldn't love me, she would hate me, or Ruby would absolutely disown me as a friend, those were all things that I felt, that I was channeling through them. And that's why when I finished coming out to every single person in my life earlier this year, I literally realized, like, wow, Cassandra, this is all you. You have these problems that you've been projecting onto other people, and it's time to own up for that. And I realized that if I want to make a difference in my life and in the lives of others, I believe in authenticity and honesty, and it's time to both clear the skin and clear the entire slate. So Ruby, we have known each other for years because of an ex-boyfriend of mine who literally introduced us. You knew my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, I did.
Good talk.
Yeah, good talk, great.
If it weren't for that relationship, I wouldn't have met you.
That's true.
Now what's amazing is that you knew me better than I knew myself. I think we were watching a movie in his house.
Yeah.
And something that you said to me that I will never forget. You looked at me and you said, I see the way you look at those girls.
Yeah, yeah. You have this, you were like, it's you can't explain it in words. You have to see it to believe it.
Well, we were watching like a Bollywood film, and
It took a popcorn to be exact.
You remember? It was fast, or it was Om Shanti Om.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out because I was like, oh my God, does she know? And at this time, I didn't even know. And again, that brings up the question, what is knowing versus realizing?
Yeah.
My first girlfriend was when I was like 13. But I thought that was just a phase, and I'm with a boyfriend now. Look, I've got the Instagram boyfriend, and here she is, noticing that I'm like googly gaga-eyed over this Bollywood queen.
Calling you out.
Literally calling me out. And it was terrifying because you could see something in me that I couldn't even recognize for myself, which shows you what a good friend you are. But at that moment, I thought to myself, oh crap. don't want to be like them. I want to be with them. And that sucked because that was in a moment in which I was in a relationship with a guy that I knew wasn't right for me, but because of certain religious obligations that I had put on myself and from my family, I felt like I needed to stay with him. Like I, in my head, was getting married to this dude. But you called me out. And you also had said something to the point of when I was talking about some of the emotional and physical stuff that I was going through in the relationship. This was literally my only friend at the time. Like I was not allowed to have other friends. You had said to me, you believe that you're going to hell if you don't marry this guy because of what had happened, but you're living in hell.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, she's right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Right? So I don't believe in that. And I'm glad that I called it out.
Some of the most profound advice, and that's when I realized that if I cannot fight these feelings, these attractions that I have for girls, I don't have to act on them, but like this is not something I can change. And keeping myself in a dangerous, bad situation, both for myself and others, was not fair to myself or others.
Life has a funny way of connecting you.
Life has a really funny way of connecting you.
Yeah.
And so, let me say, Sammy Joe, you also like knew.
Called you out.
How?
I did.
I still don't know. Like I think that I've done such a good job hiding it.
Yeah.
But obviously, I don't know.
Most painful things about
okay.
holding your feelings inside, and that includes how you define your sexuality, which is oftentimes more fluid than we think, is that we hold back and we alter the way that we express ourselves, so we're not able to express ourselves in a fulfilled way. And with you in particular, you were going around certain pronouns. This person, they, and I picked up on it.
Not she or he, right?
Yeah, and because I think also when you're connected to someone, you
get it. Just
like Ruby, where you just get it, you feel it, and it's just something that I picked up on. And when I called you out on it, because I think you didn't come to that conclusion for yourself yet, and I saw deep within you. You got a little nervous and a little bit, off put and didn't really know how to react because you thought I would be judging you. But instead I was like, no, you were in good company. It's all good. When it's not planned, it catches you off guard, especially when you haven't come to that conclusion yourself. It's like, well, how does she to tell me how I feel? Those certain moments have put it in your head and in your heart that, maybe I should finally acknowledge it. It did set you up to the path of right here, right now, where we are openly discussing it. It was the baby steps leading to the greater picture, to be yourself, to live your most authentic life, to live your truth, to be who you are,
It's one of those things where imagine building a house on a cliff next to a beach, and you know that at any minute that house could erode and that house could come down. But from the street, it looks so stable, it looks so perfect, you've built it so nice.
Yeah.
That's what I've done all my life. I've hidden my sexuality, I've hidden self-harm, I've hidden these things so much because unlike acne, I don't wear my sexuality on my face. And then, instead of waiting for the ocean to come and tear it apart, imagine you just coming apart and ripping it down. Yeah. And that's what coming out feels like. Every single time I got to come out to one of my friends, to my family, to somebody I work with, etc. And it's one of those things where there's the fear of losing you. Because I judge myself so harshly, which is funny because I would never judge somebody else this way, but because I judge myself so harshly, I'm like, if they feel that way about me, I could lose you. And that's just, oh my God, even the thought of that just eats me up inside. But this house situation, you're tearing it down yourself. So when someone starts to see your house that's built there on the ocean and realize it's not as stable as you thought it was, you thought you built this great house and someone is like, ooh, looks like it's shifting.
They see the inside.
You're like, whoa! Elizabeth, you literally have been from my subscriber to one of my best friends to somebody who I can confide anything into. First off, you didn't have a clue, did you?
Yeah, so unlike these amazing women here, I was completely aloof. We were out to dinner and we were eating Italian food. Were you even vegan at the time?
I think I had just turned vegan and you were like, can you eat cheese?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't think so.
And Cassandra was seeing someone at the time and she was feeling a lot of emotions. I could tell she really liked this person. when she started talking about this person, I was like, oh, this is like the first time we're doing boy talk, you know, like, and I'm like, okay, who's this guy? Like, let me know, like, what's he like, where's he from, blah, 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 blah. And she was just like, I can't. And she starts tearing up. I'm like, what did he do? Like, that bastard, like, what did he do? Like, and I'm like, who is he? What's his name? I started like, with an N. Is it, I started like naming these like random, like, normal dude names.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Is it Jack? Is it Sam?
Like, yeah, I was like, is it Matthew? Because I dated a Matthew. I was like, is it Matthew too? Are you dating another Matthew? And she was like, it starts with an N. I started naming N's, and I keep asking her, and she's like, it's Nicole. And I was like, oh, okay, like Nicola, or like, is he like Italian? You know, I didn't even, it didn't even hit me. Oh, Nicole, interesting, like, interesting name. And then she's just looking at me, and she turned super red. But then I was like looking at her, and she was crying, and I was like, you know, I was like, I never thought about that, but now that you told me that, it makes everything is glued together. I didn't realize, you know, this is such a big moment for her, and I wish I
was bawling.
in hindsight, I wish I had taken it more seriously. We talked about it, and
You were so supportive to me, and that was the biggest thing for me. I was like, how does she like not hate me? How does she love me? Like,
yeah, like,
I was like,
it's awesome.
but it was so good for me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh my God, I'm still loved. I didn't lose one of the friends that I care about the most.
Well, you never lose me.
But I don't know that. And like when I had crushes on my 3rd grade teacher, and I got in trouble for drawing pictures of like my fellow classmates, like you grow up pretty freaking ready to be punished for expressing any sort of attraction that is wrong. And I say wrong in quotes because that's what the religion that I grew up in had
Instilled
in me. But like that support meant the world to me. And I feel like I've always been able to talk really objectively with you about my girlfriends, because you've had a lot of experience dating guys and like having friends who have dated people and understanding those relationships. So now I'm at a point where I can talk to you about the people that I date, and you give such good advice. You listen so completely. And I'm like, I never thought that I could come to a point where I could tell my friends and they would be able to support me.
Right.
Now, Rupi, when I came out to you, you gave no
Literally. First, we had Indian food, and then we're just in the parking lot. She get a text. She's all smiling and all giggling, and she just like looked at me and like, oh, she's watching me. Let me just put my phone away. I'm like, no, too late for that. And I'm like, whoa, who's that? And she was just so afraid. She's like, no, you're gonna hate me for this. And I was just like, no, just tell me. And she was like, oh, I'm really happy. I'm like finally at a space where I can be in a relationship. I thought she got back with her ex, and I was like, oh, no, they can't be it. That's why she's taking forever to say it. And then she says the name, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. It doesn't change anything about you. You were a good person. That's why I'm like friends with you. I'm not friends with you because you're straight. Like, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
So that's how she told me.
And it was crazy because like you literally gave no F's and just like moved on. Yeah. And I was like, but it's a girl. This is terrifying.
Yeah. As long as you're a good person and you're happy, that's what it matters.
But that was the moment to me that was just like, oh God, you know, because you have the potential of like, of losing these people who mean so much to you. And like the fact that like all of you literally just accepted me, I was like, what? But the efforts that I went through to hide all of that, I mean,
Crippling.
It was crippling. I actually think I gave you a necklace.
Oh yes, the most memorable moments of our friendship, and we have many. I was, you know, at that period of time in my life, needed encouragement, needed friends, and there you were presenting me with a necklace that was actually given to you. And what it symbolized was courage. It's hanging on my fridge by her postcard. She sends me postcards when she travels all around with sunflowers on it, or she sees something that reminds her of me, and I have them all hung up on display. It never ceases to just shift my day around no matter where I am because of what it represents. And you used to wear it turned over.
It's a two-sided necklace. On one side it said
Pride with
the rainbow, and on the other side it was like this little like copper mandala, like just like a little design, and I would wear it turned around so nobody could see.
Yep.
And that's important to any type of growth. You do not grow in your comfort zone. Just like a seed, just like a plant has to push through the ground in order to become a beautiful blossom, you have to get through the dirt first. And as I'm coming to terms with expressing publicly who I am and no longer being ashamed of that, it's intense. But I also feel like if I don't do that, I'll never be able to grow outside of my comfort zone. And I won't be able to share my experience with other people who may be hurting or may have a friend who they don't know how to support. In therapy, in order to get through something, whether it's self-harm or depression or other things that I've dealt with, you've got to talk. And that's what I've realized through talking to you guys. But my vlog family, my butterfly family on the internet is literally an extension of that. And the fact that I haven't done that has stopped me from being my most expressive self to you. It needs to be fully encompassed, and I'm growing into that. Really, at the end of this, you guys have been here for me. You guys have been here for me even though you didn't know it. And as I go through these realizations that this isn't something that I can change, I know that people have a lot of questions. I've done videos on this before, but if you don't love yourself, you can't accept the love that others give you. And the hardest part about coming out is realizing that I've done a lot of this damage to myself. Ever since I was younger, ever since I was reprimanded in Sunday school for liking girls or whatever, I've hid this so deeply, and I've hated myself for it, and I've tried to change myself for it. But the support of other people, the support of you guys has literally taught me how to love, has literally taught me how to express kindness to myself. And as I learn to love and accept myself for who I am able to love you guys and my family more fully and in different ways. And when I'm able to have a relationship, it's wonderful because I literally get even more filled with this positive emotion that I can then share to other people. And for whoever you are, for whatever you're going through, whether you're in a relationship or single, gay, straight, bi, something completely different, and you like green potatoes, literally remember that love does come from you first. And that is always a journey, and you are a part of mine. So thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you for doing face masks and having tea. I hope that you learned a little something, and I really want to thank you for sleeping on a plane, for you for taking off work, for you traveling 2.5 hours to get to me. Your guys' support means more to me than you'll ever know. And I would literally be a fraction of the person that I am today if it weren't for this love and support. So remember to always pass the love forward. I love you guys. Remember to be beautiful, inside and out, whatever that is for you. Yeah, and you guys are gonna see these beauties in a couple more videos. I don't always bring my friends into videos, but like, it's time! So their stuff is down below if you want to stalk them on the interwebs. And let's all think of videos that we want to do in the near future.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much!
Love you.